happy to be here from Nice, France. But I was born and raised here in Texas, so it's nice to be back home. And I wanted to sort of preface what I'm about to talk to you about today by showing some research. Travelaer is a very research-focused, user-centric, customer experience-focused software company. So we do things, a little differently than many in the industry. And to sort of introduce some of these next ideas, I wanted to walk you through sort of how we got there. I've been working with airlines now since, I think, 2004, 2005, when I first worked with Southwest Airlines here in Texas. But if you exclude the low-cost carriers and the airlines like Southwest Airlines, the airline industry does have a problem. And what we found from talking to many customers across the world, and obviously these statistics vary depending on which part of the world you come from, but most customers tell us that they don't book on airline sites. So when we talk to customers, around 58% told us that they prefer to go to an online travel agent or a meta search engine. They prefer the way that these sites function, they feel more comfortable with them, and overall they prefer booking or at least starting their trips by looking at these sites. Another thing that we've really found is that, I don't know, how many airlines, all airlines, how many people from airlines here? Okay, good number. How many of you know what your conversion rate is today across all of your digital properties? If I ask you right now, could you tell me what it is? Raise your hand if you know what it is. Okay, I can't really see because of the light, but I don't really see any hands. So what we've learned from doing a lot of studies here is that airlines don't really know what their conversion rates are, much less have a conversion rate optimization strategy. Another statistic that we find in particular throughout Europe and a lot of the airlines we work with is that direct bookings only represent around 30% of the total bookings online. We know that there's huge opportunities for airlines to improve their loyalty and their brand loyalty. And this, because we're in the US, only 9% of travelers in the US know where they're going to go book. They're open to booking anywhere, especially if it's a leisure trip. So there's really no loyalty when it comes to customers. So when we did a survey related to conversion rate optimization, and it was the end of 2017, I think there was like 60 airlines that participated, only 18% actually had any sort of conversion rate optimization technique or strategy in place, and most were sort of at the basic beginnings of that. So we also looked at the booking process itself, and there's a problem. Today, customers, 55%, agree that there's too many sources of travel information. They go to too many websites, which leads me to the next slide. I think this is from Expedia, and this is mostly focused on leisure travelers or a leisure trip, but on average, people look at around 36 websites before booking. So the customer journey is a complex one. Very rarely is a customer going to an airline website, looking at a price, and then booking right then and there. They're going to a number of websites, they're looking for the lowest price, they're looking for the best times, they're not loyal. If you look at OTAs and meta search engines, on the other hand, customers tell us that they prefer the look and feel of OTAs. They prefer the functionality of the OTAs. Meta search engines the same. They make it simple and easy to book because it's transparent, and typically the flights are combined in a way that makes more sense to customers. The meta search engines and the OTAs, they make people feel confident in the choices they're making. This is true across the board of just about everyone we talk to. Unless you're a business traveler who's focused on point A to point B quite frequently. Leisure travelers are looking everywhere, and they prefer OTAs and meta search engines. So we believe that there's a way for airlines to convert better. So if you take the information we know about the customers across the world, we take the information about airlines who don't know much about conversion rate optimization, and you combine all of this together, it gives us really a big opportunity to help airlines. We've literally analyzed hundreds of customers. This is now thousands of customers. We've looked at the customer journey. We've looked at the key places in the customer journey where we think we can make create a big opportunity for airlines and a place where we can really convert. We know that customers today, they want the confidence, they want the best price, they want to compare all the prices in one spot, and they want to find personalized or tailored offers. So when you put all this together, we see the big opportunity to combine these things, conversion rate optimization, as well as improving brand loyalty. We know that travelers crave personalization. You know, the buzzword of 3 or 4 years ago was personalized, big data, etc. Customers don't care how you actually make the experience feel better for them or make it feel like something targeted towards them, but they all agree now that airlines should be doing something. This is 57% of US travelers. They want to feel like the information is personalized for them. So by doing this and personalize the experience, customers are more likely to be loyal, and they're even potentially more likely to pay more. So understanding the customer, understanding what they want, it allows us to take conversion rate optimization to the next level. We believe in the sort of a fail fast sort of mentality or attitude where we put something out there quickly, we test it, we measure it, we revise it, and put it back out there again. So this is a big part of where we see the success of airlines going in the future. They need to adapt fast, and they need to change their market position, especially when it comes to their user experience and their digital experience. So we want to take all of this research, and we want to introduce a concept. It's a new product that we've created that will help airlines with conversion rate optimization, and ideally it will allow airlines to, at first, compete with OTAs, compete with meta search engines. And so I want to show you a quick video to introduce this product.
Today's airline customers have a multitude of options when searching and booking flights. Even the most loyal airline customers visit countless websites before making a purchase decision, typically with the major online travel agents having a better success rate in converting the customer who is looking for the lowest price. Even when digitally sophisticated airlines get a customer to their website, they rarely have the competitive tools or content needed to capture the customer's attention and convert them immediately. For airlines to maximize direct revenues and increase conversion rates, they need to start acting more like the digitally savvy online travel agents, and they must put conversion rate optimization strategies in place. That's why Travelaer is introducing RightFlight, a new line of digital products that make it easier for airlines to increase direct bookings and conversion rates. RightFlight brings together sophisticated data and digital tools, typically utilized by only OTAs and MSEs, directly into the airline digital experience. RightFlight simplifies and personalizes the selection of flights by utilizing a unique algorithm to present the customer with the best flight combinations to meet their needs. RightFlight creates trust with the customer by providing transparency, allowing the comparison of the host airline flight with competitive flights on the same route. The right flight is about more than just the lowest price. It's about flight attributes that are important to the customer, such as total travel time, number of stops, seat size, and flight ratings. Customers can choose to book the original flight, hold the flight, track the flight, or exit the airline site altogether. On a non-competitive route with excess availability, the airline can choose to dynamically offer the customer a promo code or discount, which will allow them to be more competitive. If a customer exits the site completely, the airline can display the flight comparison data in their advertising campaigns, or display personalized modules on their home screen that will allow returning customers to easily finish their booking. For more information on how Right Flight can help your airline, please visit Travelaer.com.
Okay, so I want to be very clear about something. Travelaer does not work with OTAs or meta search engines. We work with airlines. We're trying to help airlines increase their direct bookings. So I want to make sure you understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about the data that you're typically finding on an online travel agent or a meta search engine, and we're talking about incorporating that into an intelligent way using business rules into an airline website and doing it for your own advantage. So Right Flight is a solution that allows the customer to immediately compare the best of your flights, but also potentially the best of your competitive flights. It's not always about the cheapest flight for many customers. It's about the best flight or the right flight. So what we're looking at is we're looking at price, we're looking at the seat size, we're looking if it comes with meals, if it comes with Wi-Fi. We're taking a total package, the shortest duration, how many stops, and we're putting together the right flight for the customer. So we're doing this today using a number of APIs. One of the reasons that we're here is because we've been working at Travelaer with Viant for, I think, 3, maybe 4 years now. They were one of the first partners that when we started the company that we worked with, and now obviously they're a part of Pros. So when we looked to find a partner who could help us with this data that we needed, Pros was the first company that we looked at that could provide the most comprehensive solution. In addition to Pros, we're also looking and working with ATPico, we work with Route Happy, and then we can process in availability and directly from the airline PSS, and also personalization and CRM tools. So Right Flight itself is a fully customizable and responsive widget. It's something that airlines can embed in their existing digital experience. And for most airlines, it's also available for an API. So the examples I'm going to show you today are just that. They're small examples about how to use this data that will help you improve the conversion rate for your airline. I'm going to go quickly because I want to... the core UI product that we offer to someone is always responsive. It works on any screens. It can work on applications as well. The core sort of way that I'm going to show a quick demo here is that Right Flight works on how you want it as an airline to work. When someone is leaving the website, we can offer them the opportunity to either book the flight, track the flight, or hold the flight. And we're trying to present the customer with the last chance. Don't leave the site. Book this now. You need to stay here. Here's why. Look at the competition. This is the best flight for you. When they do decide to exit the site, we can put in pop-ups or pop-ins, depending on what the airline wants. If you have site expirations, so if you have a session expiration or someone tries to click out of the site, we can also put up a Right Flight pop-up like you see here. It allows the airline to compare their best flight data. A lot of airlines have very, very lengthy list of flights with all of your code share and airline partners. So today, the customer may have to look at 10 to 20 outbound flights and then 10 to 20 return flights. Right Flight puts them together, the best flight. It could be 2 or 3 of your flights, return and outbound, both together. We can also compare competitive airline data, and I'll go to the demo and try to show you this here. But we're looking at the overall rating, which we get from Route Happy. We look at the total elapsed time, which you can see here. We look at the total price, and then we also look at seat size and sort of the first generation of the product. So you'll see a lot of times cheapest, fastest, comfiest. Yes, comfiest actually is a word. I had to look this up when we first did it, but it is a real word, and it is spelled correctly. Let me go through this quickly. Now, this is something that we're very excited about, which is the ability to, if you do display right flight, and the customer has come back, or you can set business rules in our administration tool, which will allow you to dynamically offer, depending on the legalities, either a limited offer price, a limited time promo code, etc., so that you can actually match another airline competitive flight and make sure you don't lose the customer. We can also export this data into behavior retargeting. So if you're doing any type of advertising campaigns and the customer leaves your site, instead of offering a generic banner or even saying, hey, would you still like to book that flight to this destination, we can actually put the real data from the last flight that they looked at. If they hit book now or hold flight, it will take them back into the experience, deep link them in. It's just an example. Another big part of this is conversion rate optimization. So I said earlier that we want to help airlines understand conversion rate optimization. So right flight is only displayed when the airline wants it to be displayed, but that tells you a lot about your pricing, what you know about the customer. When right flight is displayed, what the customer decides to do next can help with your conversion rate, and also insights related to that you're not typically going to get from any existing booking engine, etc. This is an example of the business rules engine that you can use to decide how you want right flight to be displayed. And I want to show this demo, and I have this timer up here that's counting down, so I'm like hurrying now. But we know that there's going to be an airline quite soon that offers other airlines for sale in their website. So there will be an airline that becomes an OTA. The question is not when, but who and how soon. And so one of the things that you can do with right flight, if you're a Brave airline and this is where you decide to go, is that you can actually book competitive airlines directly in your own website. So I'm going to show you the quick demo here, so we can switch to my laptop. Demos are always super fun because something always goes wrong. Can you guys put up my my laptop screen? I knew something would go wrong. So it's not on mirror, so I'm going to have to look up here and do this. But okay, we're just going to take Iceland, for example. This is a test site. We're going to search from Paris to JFK, June 14th to 15th. Hopefully I'm still online. So you can say it's the normal booking engine. You see the normal flights. And here you can see right flight. So a business rule was triggered from the admin to show that the best flight that you can take on Iceland Air is actually this one. It's the cheapest, it's the comfiest. And if I click here, I can see the details of this. I can see the seat size. I can book it. I can hold it. I can also click more flights. Show you this in a second, but here you can see, let's close it. You can see the KLM was the other flight that has the best route. You can see actually here that the KLM flight does have the highest rating. This KLM flight is the fastest. This one actually right here too is the same seats type as above, but it's 886 compared to the Iceland Air flight. Now, if I decide to leave this, like most customers are going to do, and click out and go to another site for research, now I'm presented with a modal that has the details. Some airlines may choose not to embed right flight directly into their pages, but instead they'll wait for the modal, they'll wait for the session timeout, they'll wait for triggers for the customer. And then from here, I can go back in and I can either book, I can hold, I can compare the flights, and I can see we have the details for these as well. And so I know I'm running out of time, but I'll just leave you with this. we know that this data can help airlines with conversion rates. We know that we can help this with transparency for customers. This may not be the exact way that it's going to push your airline to the next level, but there are going to be airlines doing this very soon, and there are ways that we can help you using Right Flight and this type of data increase your conversion rate. So thank you guys very much.